sense. We are Justified Delirium, back with you again. Hope you all had a fantastic Valentine's Day and you are enjoying because we love We are going to talk about living with people who have anxiety, or if you were the person that has anxiety, people who live with you. Right. So, how do you navigate those relationships and maintain them well when you're either the person with anxiety or you are managing someone with anxiety? Managing might not be the right word, but for me, anxiety was just like my brain was on 1,000. It just like would go and go and go, and I couldn't slow it down, and I'd be lying in bed at night and every single thing would go through my mind, and it was terrible. I always felt exhausted, but also on that 1,000, so I was like simultaneously like hyper aware of things, but then also like so ready to just go to bed. Right. I was also like someone who would like ask so many questions, so that I could like manage myself, but the questions would never stop. So It's exhausting for people to manage me. I was also like, I'm like ruled very much by fear, and so I would constantly be paranoid that something was going to happen to me, stuff like that. So I'm sure was exhausting. I don't think my wife would say that, but I'm sure I was.
She probably would say it.
She might say that, actually.
For me, with my anxiety, I always, like I said in earlier videos, that I always thought it was like this cute quirk I had, that I was just like always anxious about any situation I was in, and I always needed pep talks from my friends and family. But now I look back on it as like, my friends and my boyfriend, now husband at the time, like, they would go out of their way to make sure I was comfortable, whether it was with driving. We would take all back roads to get anywhere, and it would take, I don't know, double the time to get anywhere. Like, that's unreasonable. But people, no one said anything, no one complained, they just helped me. And I think that is amazing love for someone who has anxiety, but also, like, it's just so much work, and it's exhausting to constantly be there for someone who has anxiety. Yeah. Whether it's close friends, family, anything like that. Like, because I did need a lot of reassurance and a lot of talking down from fear and possibilities that could happen.
Oh, yeah. Like, if I was having an episode, and I wasn't, like, with my wife, like, I would text my wife. Yeah. So even if we weren't even in the same room or in the same vicinity, I would like reach out for help, but I would also like, that's energy that she has to spend trying to help me get back on track. Right. And so it can be really exhausting for people to be with people with anxiety. We know because we've been on both sides. Both sides. And I'm not saying we want to make sure that people are like clear that like people who are experiencing anxiety, you're not a burden. You're not a burden. It is real. It is just another thing that people have to navigate in order to like maintain healthy relationships.
Yeah, but honestly, as a person with anxiety, when I was going through my worst times, I wasn't thinking about how other people were feeling about it. It was like, I need everyone. I need my squad, my group, to be rallying around me constantly. Yeah. And I'm so relieved that that phase is over, at least now, for now. But,
let's see, like, at the height of my anxiety spiral of death, for real, my brother's a doctor, and I was convinced every other day that there was something new wrong with me. Yeah. And I could not manage it. Like, maybe I had a cough, and I was like, oh, God, I have cancer of the throat. Crazy. Like, there are a lot of other symptoms that probably come with that, and it's very unlikely that I would have that. Right. But, like, I would call my brother almost every day and be like, is it normal that blank? Is it, like, not only was it affecting my wife, but it was also affecting my family, and it was affecting my friends in ways that I probably still don't even understand. So we're telling you this because we have been there. We understand what it's like to need that extra support to get through the day.
Yeah. And I think the thing that's the hardest and that can be most frustrating for me is that anxieties and fears and all that kind of stuff is oftentimes irrational, but it stems from something, but it's irrational. So, like, how do you talk to an irrational person in that moment?
Sometimes you don't.
You don't.
So, like, yes.
Yeah.
It's real for you. But, like, the people who you have surrounded yourself with, and you're navigating this anxiety, it is hard.
It's hard.
And it's exhausting sometimes. And you're doing a good job. Just like, I want to say you're doing a good job. I think that there are irrational things that we do and say, and the best thing that you can do is to be there for us and then help us navigate how to get out of that place, or maybe not even being a problem solver, maybe being like a listener, or like, you know, serving them in some way, like
or like just meeting meeting their instant needs, helping them focus on their breathing, or like pointing out what is okay surrounding you, or like
a logical next step,
right?
Like you think you're having mini heart attacks, go to your doctor,
right?
Like, let's make an appointment right now.
I'll call for you, that kind of thing. So to ease those anxieties, but
so we've been on one side. We have lived with people who have helped us walk through those situations. God bless them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because we know now that we, there were moments where I'm sure we were driving you crazy. But we did it, and you helped us, and we love you. You know who you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. So if you are someone who has anxiety, we feel for you. We understand. If you are someone managing, someone with things that we also get it. Give each other grace. You know, like, we're all trying to get there. We're all trying to do our thing.
Yeah.
And let's continue the conversation.
And end the stigma.
Goodbye.
Bye.